Okay.
This one's for Ashley Cummins. Yeah. The other sister carving her own path. Let's ride! Let's ride. Yoga mat warrior, always getting twisted. They took her favorite speed, left her in the dust. In a stable, but not stable, that's a hard trust bus. World's on fire, relationships a hot mess. She's pouring real tea while spilling her own dress. Earl Skakel cracking up, Roachy in the mix. H-man spitting wild, she keeps it legit.
Hush that fuss, Ashley's coming through, move to the front of the bus. Do you wanna vibe and laugh with us? We the type of people that make the podcast nuts. Hush that fuss, she's the real deal, speaking her mind for us.
It's a beautiful day. Ashley's in the house.
Good vibes today.
She won't hesitate to clap back when it's earned, but mostly here for laughs. Your bad takes get burned. Word events got a side eye in the news. Bad dates, honey, she's got better shoes. Family drama, yeah, we all got our scars. Hers just winnies and lives in fancy cars. Come vibe with the crew, no scripts, pure cap. Ashley Cummins podcast, put that on the map, or at least YouTube. In the stable, but not stable.
She's unbreakable.
Why you put me on screen before you put yourself on screen? Fucking idiot. Come on, Ash, what are you doing? Don't put me on the pressure like this. Jesus.
I love you, Roachy. Hi, guys. Thank you so much for being here. This is another episode of Ashley and Roachy in Wonderland. Roachy, can you tell me what happened on this day?
Today? I believe Chad's
isn't there a special event that Bran helped us
right,
with?
yeah. Okay, yeah. So I saw Brandon in the chat earlier. Apparently, this is the 90th anniversary at opening of the 1936 German Olympics.
Interesting. What kind of clothes were they wearing there?
Hugo Boss.
No, they weren't.
They were Nazis.
We've got great show for you today. As always, Roachy's going to be carrying a lot of this show. We might have some special guests showing up. I want to ask you, Roachy, is there a place you can think of that news travels faster? Oh, bless you. That news travels faster than in the dabble.
Yeah, the internet.
Well, okay, but fair enough. All right.
You phrased the question wrong.
I'm just going to go take a nap. Wait, what?
Go on then. Go on. What you should have said, is there any other place that news travels faster than the Dabbleverse?
What did I say?
You said name another place. Basically, the same fucking
I
thing.
said, do you know another place that it travels faster? That's what I thought I said. But
Yeah, the
again,
World Wide Web. Yeah, the internet,
you
email.
shouldn't have kept me up all night last night, Roachy. I mean, God, he will go on and on and on, talking. So, Roachy, I love you, but I gotta go.
When did I turn into stuttering, John?
I'm gay now. That's so funny. He beats women and me. That's a sad thing. What did you say, my love? I'm sorry.
I said exactly what. Is it Brandon Place? Do you want to read that?
Yes. Oh, yes. Can you please read it?
No, I'm not reading that. But basically, Adolf Hitler opened the opening ceremony at the first Olympic torch relay. And a gathering
Do
of
you
40.
think that Adolf Hitler maybe got a bad rap? Sorry, go ahead.
No, I think he got the rap that he deserved.
So he opened the 1930s, but the Olympics has been around forever. Can someone in the chat, Brandon, can you tell me? I feel like the Olympic that goes back to Rome, no?
Yeah, but it's considered the modernization of the Olympic Games was considered the German Olympic Games. Bearing in mind that you guys had the fame, and I forget the guy's name. There was an Olympic sprinter, a black guy, who won, and he stood there and had to receive a medal from Hitler. And apparently Hitler didn't shake his hand, or at least that's the urban myth or legend.
And that Olympic swimmer was you.
Olympic swimmer? Jesus. Anyway. Yeah, Jesse
I've
something.
seen
That's
you in a
right.
bathing suit.
Jesse Owens. Jesse James.
Thank you guys so much. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Jezalou. Thank you. Happy belated birthday to me. Everyone follow in Jezalou's steps, please. Okay, guys, we are going to cover, per usual, funny, weird, strange things happening on this planet. And I will have to say this. Should I tell them? No, I'll tell you guys later if I need to. Okay, Roachy's the best. Everyone knows Roachy, and his channel is at Roachy888. So he does a show on Sundays. He'll be doing it tomorrow. Oh, thank you, Roachy, for telling me something in my head. He does a show on Sundays. It's usually around 2 my time, yeah?
Yeah.
EST. I still think it's really cute how many of you Brits have adjusted to Eastern time zone. I love you guys for that. Okay. So we're going to cover today, we're starting with robot teachers. So robot teachers are here. Go ahead,
So
please.
can I help out a little bit? So
Yeah,
just to
shut me
clarify,
up this whole time, by the way. I should not be talking, but please do proceed.
for those that are new to this live stream, this is what Ashley has seen that piqued her interest via social media sites during this past week. That's the best way to describe it, right?
Well, yes and no. I was going to say I would like to introduce our new 4th segment. Would you like to do it? Starting next week?
All right, yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, how about this? Next time, if you tune into this stream, something else will happen, but not this time. Yeah, go on.
Do you want to give them a little hint, a little teaser?
Basically, Ashley ran, I can't be asked, keep looking at video clips. Can you find something to present to us? That's basically what happened. So
here's what happens every week. I do find things I find so many things very interesting, and I have questions. So I will often, before, what is it, like before 2 or 3 weeks ago, I would just randomly send Roachy stuff, and I'm like, don't you remember that clip I sent you on Tuesday? And then sometimes he would just bring the clips. I'm like, which one is this again? Which is very funny. Roachy's amazing. Starting next week, so we do 4 topics a week. Oh, by the way, you have to make something up by the 4th topic, because I said on the thing, 4th, you know how you always say fuck all? I know it's like a British thing, thing. So actually, I think that starts today. We'll see how we go. But starting next week, the 4th topic, 1, 2, 3, 4, will be Roachy's choice. Kind of like Sophie's choice, but a little different.
What if I choose not to bring a topic? Is that a choice?
Well, then we're just going to talk about you for like an hour,
Nope.
which I would
No,
love.
no, that's
Like
fine.
getting to know Roachy better.
No, fuck that. No,
Deep dive into Roach. You don't like it?
No, not at all. Anyway, well, what are we trying to do? We're trying to copy Dabbleverse live and do friendly banter. Is this what's happening?
I don't even know.
You don't even know what
Friendly banter. I
Dabbleverse?
thought we are friends.
Yeah, but that's what it is. Yeah. Fuck you, Doom.
Wait, where's Doom? I love Doom. Okay, so you made me forget what I was gonna say, Roach.
You were gonna say for our first topic of conversation, let me display this video. Yeah, that's what you were gonna say, right?
I remember.
Because it's about replace. Go on.
No, you go on. I'm not gonna forget it.
No, because I'm about to introduce the video, so you need.
Yes, sir. I was just gonna say, can you keep an eye out for guests? Because you know how I don't notice them.
Control of this, right? So now I'm gonna have to not keep control of the chat, right? And have to look in the private chat. If somebody shows up, then I'll see them. But yeah, I can do that for you. You have to be in control of the chat. There you go.
Roachy's overextended over here at this show that we do once a week. Okay, we're gonna get to HR by next week. We're gonna make sure that you feel okay. But no, I'm just saying a lot of times you're like, Ashley, you have someone down there and I don't notice. So that's all. Is that so super difficult, sir?
Yeah, but I don't actually see them on my end. I just know because they messaged me, right?
Oh, news to me. Ash, have you ever seen Roachy lean back in a chair? Lean back. Lean back.
It goes as far as it goes.
Roachy, let's start with our yoga. Let's do that.
Let's not do yoga. This is not what this stream's about. Why are you doing half of George Floyd? You got to do both.
I wasn't doing half. You weren't paying attention. Let's get to the show, shall we, Roachy?
Teacher
guys,
that
by the
was
way,
set to arrive at a New York classroom next month. Well, not so fast. The Salamanca City School District.
Roachy, what are you doing back there?
Nothing, right? Nothing whatsoever. First off, you got
that was 100% me, guys.
You got to read the super chat from Shuli Ego.
Julie Madoff, thank you for the $5. Ashley, if you want to understand the Roach more, I feel like that should be what the segment is, getting deeper into Roach or something. That sounds dirty, but I don't mean it to. Ashley, if you want to understand more about if you want to understand the Roach more, start by getting it's blocked. Start by getting up. By getting up
every Saturday and Sunday mornings and watch Arsenal.
And watching Arsenal with us. Let's have an Arsenal party. I'm in.
Could you? Right, okay, surely. All right, fair enough. Imagine me trying to explain the offside rule to Ashley.
Offside wall. You have to be all like coded when you talk in your Brit language.
So I mean, she doesn't even understand it's a rule in the sport. Like, so that's the first issue, right? Telling her why there's 22 men on the field, right?
Look at you, ye of little faith. You don't know what I know about the Arsenals, and maybe we just won't have some Arsenal party that I was planning in my head just now. Roach, do some yoga. Yeah, we'll get to that. I decided instead of detention, depending on your level of mischievous, you're gonna have to do yoga poses. Okay, guys, we're gonna start with the robot teachers. I don't know if you guys have heard about this. I believe it's in California. And if I recall correctly, it's not going well. Surprise.
Is pausing use for the humanoid called Sally.
Okay.
It was meant to tutor high school students, but it raised concerns about students' privacy. Some teachers said it was the first step in replacing real educators. Okay, I mean...
Okay, first of all, why do these robots that are supposed to be educators look like... Okay, you say it.
Why would I say it?
Sex dolls. Like sex robots. Oh my gosh, is this the one where my sister's in it?
I don't know.
Okay, guys, wait for it. I do believe my sister's robot makes a cameo here, and I totally forgot that.
Upset that the robot manufacturer...
That's my sister's robot!
So you're saying that looks like your sister, right?
No,
And
my
you just
sister has a robot. I'm not joking.
right,
I'm
okay.
being serious. And that's
Wait,
her robot.
wait, just to clarify, right? You
Hmm.
said why did they look like sex robots, and now you're
Well, they
saying your
all look
sister has
very,
one.
very like, I mean, if your purpose is to teach children, why not make them like school marmy and like old lady? You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I'm glad you went in that direction, not the other. But yeah, go on.
What do you mean? What would be the other direction? What's up, BYB?
I don't know. You were talking about them being sex robots.
How trippy is that though? That's literally my sister's robot. And I can tell you guys an interesting story. Remind me, Rochi, because you know I'm working on
Hmm.
running on empty, running on, running.
Realbotics has a sister company that makes what you just saw there. Oh,
I was wondering.
We're wondering.
Most people don't know that the founder of Pokemon Go
Sorry,
Okay.
Ash, go on.
No, don't be sorry. Sorry is silly and it does
No,
not.
no, there's no like. I've got no. There you go. Yeah.
Can we make a goal this week to just spend like 45 minutes or however long it takes to get it so that we can be doing things together?
What?
Banana?
We're
I
doing
don't
a
know.
stream.
Um,
Don't call me a banana.
Chiquita? Banana?
No. So basically, so there's. I don't know. I didn't really hear what state that was in, but they're saying that there's the company that's making sex dolls are now making dolls to substitute as teachers, which is bizarre.
So super interesting, guys. It's kind of funny because I wasn't even planning to go so much into this. Without saying, I don't want to say too much. So you guys, I just want to let you know this sex robots are a thing. People are really into them. If you've ever been to Japan, they literally have restaurants where men take their girlfriends, right? But they're robots. They take them out to dinner. It's interesting. But I think a lot of robots in the last 5, 6, 7 years, this is a theory, okay? Allegedly, they're being pushed as sex robots. Like my sister's robot, somebody called it out. I'm trying to remember if it was. Oh, I wanted to say something. This is going to be a very difficult show to do. If anyone can
Yeah.
tell me where that quote is from, I will show you Rochi's breasts.
First off, this ain't a show. This is a stream.
Okay, thank you. A stream.
Mm.
Somebody called it out, and they called the robotic place. I think it was Mike David. They called the robotic place, and they said, like how many, because it was, I mean, my sister did like a special with it, but it was also supposedly a sex doll. Like how many have sold?
Mm-hmm.
Not one.
And
But
how
again,
many were sold?
my point is this. I think they were trying to pretend it was a sex doll. I mean, excuse me, a sex robot to like gently, softly introduce robots. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Well, that's that theory of the internet, right? The internet didn't really kick off until everybody realized you could see porn on it. And therefore, everybody went, oh, I got to get modems. I need to get connected to the internet. I can
What's
watch porn."
modems?
Modems. Modems.
Modems. Yeah, like I know what you're talking about. Yeah, like Wi-Fi modem.
Mm-hmm.
But they're
Dial-up.
modems
Yeah.
to you.
Yeah,
To what do you think about robots teaching? I don't know. You don't have kids, do you?
No. But I do find it a little bit. Some people can handle like being taught via television, for example. You know, like visually, rather than just reading from a book, where each individual person is different, right? So it's weird because I think personally having a human teacher would probably benefit human race, as in getting people to be able to socialize more, is better for humankind rather than a robot that potentially won't ever fucking blink, and that might scare the shit out of children, right?
Well, it's interesting that you mentioned the blinking part. Sociopaths, thank you, BYB, I love you. Sociopaths have very low blink rates. Like whenever I notice somebody who doesn't blink a lot, I saw an interview actually, a sociopath girl, she's killed people, she's in jail forever. but your dude interviewed her. I forgot who it was. Morgan Pierce, is it? No,
Piers Morgan.
Pierce Morgan. Thank you. See, I told you that's going to happen a couple times. Uh,
He interviewed this woman. She was a serial killer. Go on.
Thank you. I needed that. I was like, what was the last thing we were just saying? You guys, this is going to be a very difficult show to do. She didn't blink once in like 60 minutes. He went to the prison and visited her, asked her like what happened, the story. She did like, that was nuts to me. So if you're thinking maybe you're dating a sociopath, psychopath, serial killer, watch the blink rate. What is it, Roachy?
Well, no, also with that particular series you're talking about, where he went and interviewed several serial killers and whatnot, the editing on that was very selective.
What do you mean by that?
The way they edited certain responses from said killers and stuff, just obviously painted these killers in a, well, obviously they're killers, so they're bad people, but it really did like create them into monsters. So there might have been a purpose choice to make sure that they never had a blinking.
Roachy, can you please turn your phone off?
That's you.
I'm just kidding. That might be a special guest, actually.
Well, tell John to join.
What was I going to tell you? Okay. Segue. Perfect. Because there is none. Roachy, did you ever play Pokemon Go?
No, not once. And I'll tell you for why. I'm not a Pokemon guy. It come out when I was an early teenager, right? So it was designed for me. But even at a young age, I realized this. I had a Game Boy. This Pokemon, all right, it's a popular cartoon on TV. Didn't really get it as a kid, like as this cartoon. But you're telling me that there's two different versions of the same video game. I know what this is. This is them trying to milk money out of me as a kid. So I never got into Pokemon. And this is interesting that you pointed this out to us.
Well, it's interesting because I don't know a paid version of Pokemon. I played Pokemon. I got into it. And the story that I got into it at the age of my spring chicken years of 35 or 34 or something. So I was dating this guy and he was really into it. And so I started getting into it. I remember being like, sometimes walking to the market or whatever. I'm like, this feels like a waste of time. Like there's no money coming from catching these shiny creatures and doing these battles and stuff like this. But it was fun. It was kind of a fun thing. And then you get to collect the Pokemon stuff, if you guys don't know this. So the story that we were told, this is circa 2017, 18, right after my dad passed, was that Niantic was the company that created Pokemon Go. And the head of Niantic, or the founder, was an autistic guy. And that's how he had such a great creativity and imagination. And then years later, I mean, I got into it, and then it was like, I got to start working and doing stuff that pay me, right? So a few years later, I heard that Google was just an umbrella company for Niantic. And the autistic guy doesn't even exist. That wasn't even a thing. Now we come to find out. What do we come to find out, Roachy?
Press play on the video and we'll find out.
I love it when you tell me what to do.
John Hankey received funding from In-Q-Tel, which is the venture capital firm created by the CIA. And while you and your friends were walking around your city, scanning the earth to catch your favorite Pokemon, the game's developer, Niantic Incorporated, was collecting all that data and using it to build advanced 3D maps to facilitate military attacks on third world countries.
Well, now that's interesting though, actually, because that would insinuate...
I mean, we went 0 to 100 real quick. Go ahead.
Well, that would insinuate that people in third world countries was playing this game quite a lot. Now, I don't live in a third world country, neither do you.
Are you
so
sure?
That's interesting. I'm pretty certain that the UK and Great Britain isn't a third world country.
Los Angeles feels like a third world country sometimes. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I mean, I just find this interesting. Again, I understand the premise where this guy's going with this, and I do like a good conspiracy theory, but it's a bit convenient, yeah? Like, if it's really a third world country, would everybody have a mobile phone?
Yes, I've been to India. That's a third world country.
No, it's not.
What other third world countries have I been to? Rochi, can you look at my
India,
passport?
India isn't
Everyone
a
has
third
a
world
cell phone. It confused me too. I was like,
India isn't a third world country.
yes, it is.
That's not. They've got a space program.
They have a space program doesn't make you a first world country, does it?
Well, okay,
They have
we're in a game.
people that live in shacks. Like okay, I'm telling you, Rochi, that the homeless encampments there, if you will, make the homeless encampments here look like a Ritz-Carlton.
Right.
I'm
So
pretty sure it's a third world country. I could be mistaken. Rochi's usually right.
India
FYI.
isn't a third world country. It used to be. Somalia, for example,
And then
is
they
a
got a
third world
space
country.
program, so that made them not a third world country. Is that
Yeah, because they've got money to waste on something that's not really that important for their citizens, is it?
Yeah, why don't just use the money on the citizens, by the way? But sorry, go
Well,
ahead.
yeah, exactly. So that's why they're not a third world country, right? Somalia, for example, is a third world country, and they don't have a space program. Why? Because they don't have the funds for it. Yeah.
Can you imagine if there was like Somalia has a rocket and it's going to space? Everyone would be like, "What? What other Haiti's a third world country?"
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Name the last thing that come
another
out of
one.
Haiti. Name the last thing that come out of Haiti that was in Wyclef Jean.
It's so funny. Wyclef's dope though. What was it? Black Eyed Peas?
No,
See,
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
the Fugees.
Wasn't he in Black Eyed Peas too?
No,
Fuji's no.
you're thinking of Will I Am.
I think you're thinking of Sam I Am. Thank you, 1DC7876. No, sorry, 7876. Just spending money on 40 million on a player. LOL Pokemon. Ha, did you get out okay? LOL. So
UK,
here's what's
out
up.
of the UK. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
What did I not see?
No, it said, "Ha, did you get out of the UK?" Lol. Yeah, of course. It is.
Yeah, he went to Las Vegas and he's coming to LA soon, right, Roach?
Am I?
Aren't you?
I don't know. You tell me.
So when I learned there's a very interesting documentary called commercial surveillance capitalism with Shubanoff. Her name is Shubanoff, Shubanoff. You like my spelling today, Roach?
Nope. Go on.
Nope. Very important information. I think it's a 10-ish year old documentary, but she's the first person that I heard about this whole Pokemon scam. I even feel weird saying Pokemon. Like I have to say it properly. It's like, no, there's nothing proper about it. So what it actually was, if anyone ever played the game, it was to prove that they could get bodies into places. I don't know if people ever did like those battles. Sometimes they were like 6 or 7 in the morning, or you would go and get like special Pokemon and stuff. It was always at a Starbucks or a McDonald's. Do you know what happens when feet go into a restaurant or a Starbucks or a McDonald's? They spend money. So it was literally proving that they could get foot traffic into businesses. And that felt, what's the word I'm looking for? Rochi, come on, read my mind. Read my mind.
Manipulative. Right?
It made me feel upset. Sorry, what?
What? I can't even say the word. Fuck you.
Livid?
No. Manipulative. Fuck you. Can't even say it. Right, fuck it. Move on.
Fuck you.
Pokemon
Lip
Go
hug
was
you.
created by the same guy who essentially created Google Earth. John Hankey was the co-founder of Keyhole, which developed a 3D digital mapping program called Earth Viewer. Keyhole's Earth Viewer 3D client application uses video game-like 3D graphics and access to massive databases of network-hosted Earth information, including satellite imagery and aerial photography, to produce an interactive digital model of the Earth. The product was unlike anything anyone had ever seen before in the early 2000s, but it was unclear what its use case would be.
That's interesting. Nobody.
Yeah. Sorry,
Well,
go
so
ahead.
no, so that's interesting. The way the narrator of this video says nobody had seen anything like it in the 2000s. There is an argument to be had and to be said. We've all seen that movie. Is it called Enemy of the State?
Yes, with Will Smith.
Yeah. And
Will
how,
Smith,
like,
and who's the other guy? The white guy? Gene Hackman?
no, Tommy Lee
Was it?
Jones.
Oh,
Tommy
okay.
Lee Jones, yeah. Where in that movie they show like satellite images zooming in real time. You know, that was in the 90s.
Yes.
So people assumed that satellites could do that back in the 60s. So, you know, there is that.
I do feel like anything that comes out or is shown in a movie, that kind of technology, has been around for at least 20 years. You said 30?
Yeah. So that there is that popular theory that military technology takes about 20 years to get into the public domain. Cell phones is a prime example. Satellite
Absolutely.
phones is another one. Also, all weather gear, as in like weather gear to stop you getting hypothermia. The military's had that way before the public could actually go and buy that stuff. So, yeah.
I was just gonna say something really cool and distracted me. I was thinking about you like you ever seen the Christmas Story? I was imagining you in like the big puffy outfit that the little brother wears. And when he falls over, he gets stuck and he can't.
I was thinking of the greatest story ever told, and I was hoping I would get fucking crucified. Anyway.
So they're tracking the data. They're tracking where your feet are walking. And I'm sure, obviously, hindsight's always 2020. Starbucks is tracking how many times they have a battle or whatever. I think it was called a battle, or a special event, right, at a Starbucks. Like how much money came from these Pokemon people. Thank you, Roachy, etc. But it gets even. The word I was looking for is invasive, synonym to invasive, rude,
Intrusive. Yeah.
intrusive. Thank you, my love. It's very intrusive.
Do you want to know something that's shocking? We're using StreamYard right now, yeah? StreamYard. You don't think in the terms and conditions that you agree with, which nobody reads, by the way, I'm sure in there's a writing that says that StreamYard have the rights to anything broadcast through their system.
So they own what we're doing right now.
I assume so.
They own our work, our hard energy, our hours of getting all of this together.
Why wouldn't StreamYard put that in?
Yeah. Well, first of all, yeah, I do get emails randomly. It's like, Google alert, you've let StreamYard have access to this and this and this and this. I'm like, you know what? I also got a bill to pay right now. What was I going to say about StreamYard,
about it being intrusive, as in like you didn't think playing that game.
Yeah. I was over that part though.
Oh wow, fuck me.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying.
In the Shubanoff documentary. Sorry, you were talking about how nobody reads those updated terms. Yeah. Do you notice how they always send them like right after New Year when everyone's chilling, been through the holidays? It's like, I'm sorry, I'm supposed to read 7 pages of legalese. In that, I recommend everyone watch this. It's called Commercial. What did I say? Surveillance Capitalism is the title of the documentary. With I'm trying to remember her first name, as Roachy would say, ma'am. Her last name is Zubanoff, Zubanoff. She said that she had this all looked into. It would take an attorney 2 days to fully understand what a person was consenting to, agreeing to, in just your standard yearly Google update terms of services.
Do you know something? Actually, I do remember in video games, people would have to agree to licensing and shit like that, especially if they're like live streaming and whatnot. At one point,
like if gamers do stuff and play the game.
Yeah, at one point, and I'm thinking of the game EA. It used to be called FIFA, right? The football game or soccer game. Sorry, EA Teams or whatever the fuck it's called now. They changed it 10 years ago where you had to scroll through the terms and conditions because people could legally argue. We can just press OK, so it's not legally binding. Now they make you scroll through that, which legalese-wise in a court they'll say technically you could have read that, even though you could scroll really quickly with a mouse, right? You can just go,
right, and that happens not just with terms and agreements or updated agreements and stuff like this. That happens to me like on random stuff. I forgot whatever I had to do this week. Something I had to create an account. Maybe it was USPS, and it's like it makes you read it because you're exactly right, Roachy. That is plausible deniability, or it gives them a lot more leeway, if you will. But I mean, I don't know. Has anyone actually read every single word? My father was a Harvard attorney. Okay, he went to Harvard Law School. I come from a family of attorneys. Like, there's stuff that's pretty straightforward. I wanted to go to law school, by the way. I took the LSATs at home, timed once and untimed the other time. Anyway, not the point. But it's very heavy. I want to say thick. It's like thick reading. And then there's ways that they use words that you wouldn't understand. And also, the only option you have at the end of this, if you do get to the end of the 7 freaking pages, is agree. Or what? Don't have a Google or a Gmail account or a YouTube account or whatever, right?
So I can't see the chat right now because you want me to look at the private chat shit. But I assume people are saying anything you read, you do come across as if you're thick. Think about it. The joke will hit in a second. Play the video.
Are you talking about my...
Keyhole was bleeding money. Every few months for years, John would find himself scrambling to raise money from Silicon Valley investors to keep the lights on. That was until In-Q-Tel saved his company from going under.
Then we got a lifeline from a kind of unusual source, In-Q-Tel.
Isn't that an interesting... Sorry, I had to pause it, right? Isn't that interesting that quite a lot of people coming out of Silicon Valley happen to be like helped out by other people, whether that be government funds or private investors, and then they become
helped out. What was the word they used before out?
Helped out.
Oh, helped out.
Yeah.
I mean, Silicon Valley feels like a cult to me. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, as in like financially, right? Elon Musk, for example, with Tesla. Basically, the vast majority of that money is a government grant.
Yep.
Yeah. Same with the space program, right? A lot of that, like NASA would like subcontract some of their contracts from the government to the Tesla space program, whatever the fuck that's called. But anyway, shall I press play?
But he gets to just keep his billions, and that's literally citizens' tax money, right?
Technically,
it's funded by the government.
Technically, but I'm sure that they pay that money back, right? Or some of the plants. Yeah. I'm sure.
There's no way they would just steal it.
Yeah, through taxation. No, of course not. Anyway, shall I press play?
Yes, sir. If you're ready.
Was this new little venture capital firm that was basically a government VC firm with money from the intelligence community. So that was one of the few funds in the Valley that was doing real business, and they were making a lot of investments at the time. This was in the kind of post 9/11 security ramp up period. And so they found out about our technology and invested a few $1 million in the company.
Thanks to In-Q-Tel's funding, Keyhole was supplying technology to troops in Iraq and the Pentagon, and they ultimately became a profitable company due to the massive amount of government contracts rolling in. Shortly.
So that's interesting, right? like you just said there, government contracts, which is what the American military does, and same with the British military as well. But they will subcontract out certain things, and even like almost for units too. At least with the British Army, that is. So, like, so you could have technically they call them masonries, you know? No, mercenaries, right? Mercenaries. Like,
You're not talking about nurseries where kids go. You're not talking about where
mercenaries
Masons hang out. You're not
begins.
lodges. No.
No, mercenaries. You know, like people that would go and fight. Yeah.
Like Mother Teresa was a mercenary, technically, right?
Am I using the wrong word? Maybe I'm using the wrong
No,
word.
I don't think so. I'm trying to understand exactly. I like spreading the good positive word, right? That's what you're thinking of?
No.
Even though, by the way, apparently Mother Teresa was a real piece of work and possibly a man.
No, she was definitely a female.
How do you know?
Because some of the acts that she had to pull out, only a woman would be able to do.
That's somebody. Nobody asked Mother Teresa to show her privates. Is that what you're saying?
No, what I'm saying is some of the acts that she had to do, which is decide whether somebody lived or not, only a woman would be able to do without feeling bad about it.
Okay, can you give me one example? Because I'm not familiar with this part of history.
So she would perform operations on people, amputations and stuff, or help out with that. Yeah. And at one point, they were so overwhelmed that she would decide on whether somebody's worth operating on or not within a second. That is a heavy burden to have, to let somebody just die. And like I said, I think a woman can cope with that better than a man, where a man would, probably break under that, where allegedly she didn't. And also bearing in mind, she's been made a saint, so let's not talk badly about her.
Well, it's very interesting that you say that, Roachy, because you said she would walk in and she would take 1 second, which the first thing I think about is like maybe she had this, this method, and she was like had a feeling, or she asked God before she walked into the room. I feel like men just wouldn't go in there. She's like, go ahead.
Men were too busy fighting the war. But yeah, she basically had to make that decision, and she thought she was holy and righteous. It's a fascinating thing. You can go down a rabbit hole on watching Mother Teresa's things, and people idolize her to this day, by the way. But controversial figure. Yeah.
I heard that Mother Teresa and the Dalai Lama, both of them, are extremely were and are respectively. The Dalai Lama is still with us, right? I think so. Are extremely difficult to work for.
Yeah, so the Dalai Lama changes, right? He's a bit like the Pope.
Yeah, with an orange robe and a very
when the Dalai Lama dies, they pick another Dalai Lama. Basically.
That's right.
Like the Pope, yeah. That's what I mean. Where there was only one Mother
Someone
Teresa.
asked me about like the. Wait, sorry, what?
There was only one Mother Teresa, whatever the fuck her name is.
Only one Mother Teresa. You know who Mother Teresa looks exactly like?
A miserable bitch. Go on. Go on.
Fauci. She looks a lot like Fauci, doesn't she?
After Keyhole was acquired by Google in 2004, and they turned this technology into what we now know as Google.
Real quick, can you see who the video is? Because I know this guy's voice, and I just want to shout him out and put the give him credit in the description. I think it's. Thank you, love. I think it. I'm gonna try to guess it. I think it's with my very well operating brain in this moment. I think it's Patrick, CC Patrick.
2 seconds. I'm looking.
It's not Too Lazy to Try, but he's the guy that I watch when I watch Too Lazy to Try. They have nothing to do with each other, by the way.
This is you're right, Patrick CC something.
What did I say? CC Patrick? See?
Yeah, that's him. Yeah, that's him. Yeah.
See, some wheels are moving. Yeah, this dude's dope. So please check out his channel. It's Patrick CC. Is that correct? At Patrick CC?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and don't worry, there's not too much of this. Well.
I'm just going to make sure to put that in the description when we're done, as well as a picture of you in your bathing suit. Okay, let's go.
Google Earth. After Google's acquisition, John Hanke became the vice president of product management for the company's Geo division, where he oversaw products like Google Earth and Maps. Google.
Sorry, Ash. The reason why I paused it.
Don't be
Shout
sorry. Stop saying sorry. I love you.
Shout out to the Black Dabbleverse guy. How do you pronounce his name?
What's up,
There you go. I know you were on his stream. Was that last night? Was you on his stream?
I was on his stream last night. I was on his stream the night before that. I've been on his stream. I was on his stream the night of my birthday, July 27th. And every single time, do you know what we did? Yoga and breathing.
Right. Sorry.
Earth was.
Oh, sorry. Don't say sorry, by the way. It does not suit you.
Right. As an American, you should know not to tell somebody how to speak. How about this? I find it very fascinating that you managed to get a black guy to do yoga.
What kind of horse shit is that to say? He's my friend. First of all. Second of all, black people do yoga. What surprises you about that?
Okay. Can you get him to swim next?
Roachy, if you're being rude, do not be rude to my friend.
I'm trying to make this fucking funny. I'm trying to entertain.
Okay, but you can make it funny, not at the expense of millions of people that are better looking than you and probably a bigger dick.
I'm talking about that one person. I don't care about his cock size.
I'm just trying to make it funny too.
Not millions of people. I'm taking the piss out of one black person. There you go. Cool.
So who do you think has, what population do you think has the largest size penis?
I don't know. I'm not fucking gay.
Well, I found out that the largest in the United States, the largest average size penises exist in Alabama. Ladies, do what you want with that.
Because it gave everyone access to detailed.
Yes, sir.
You cannot drop something like that and then just go straight into let's watch this video and not address it. First off, how many states are there in America? How many states are in America?
50.
Okay. So
the biggest dicks in the whole world are in Norway, just FYI. Or I might be wrong, in Africa. Sorry, go ahead.
Now, are you telling everybody that's watching right now that you've gone to every single 50 states and checked at least one man's penis in said state?
Yes, Roachy. That's what that was the insinuation. Okay.
No,
I'm sure everyone in the chat thought that too. Yes, I've been to every single state and I've had at least one cock from each one. And I'm here and I'm back to tell you guys it's all about Alabama. No, love. There was a study done, a few studies done.
Right.
The average, for example, I think it's somewhere where like near where Carmick X lives is like 2-3 inches. No, I'm just kidding. The national average is like 5, but Alabama, those Alabama boys, the average is 8 inches. What's up?
Ash, can you bring up a chatter called Savosive? His chat is the second from the bottom. Can you bring
Hi, not Victoria. This one?
Savosive.
I mean, I'm hearing what you're saying.
No. Up to.
I heard you the first time. What does it start with? Oh, this one?
Can you read? No. Can you go down a little? Just back to that last chat.
Now I just want to piss you off. This one or the other one?
Basically, do you think Kaz, aka Tosspot Radio,
I love Kaz,
have the smallest penis?
I don't feel like. Come here, Honda. Do I feel? I've never thought about that, and I kind of don't want to. That feels strange.
Jesus Christ. That's
why. I thought you were. Do you know something that we do not know, Roachy? Please turn your phone off. Do you know something that we don't know?
What I do know is this: we were talking about penises, and you immediately called for your dog.
No, he made a noise, so I said, "Come here." That's a very strange connection that you just made. You're my dog.
That's satellite imagery of nearly the entire planet from a home computer.
Is it because I didn't make my payment on my Ford Bronco? Ford shut down My car?
Okay, so let's segue to this real quick, guys. We've covered a few times how they're putting in, what did they call it at first, Roachy? It was like drunk driving sensors, all these sensors in all the new cars. And by 2027, I believe we discovered, correct me if I'm wrong, because I am a little bit compromised mentally today, and that's a different story. But so I think by 2027, it's not just California, it's the whole 50 United States that will have to have these like sensors in their car, and they're saying it's to protect people from drinking and driving. But people's cars start if they get emotional. If Roachy got pregnant and I had to rush over to his house, I'd probably be a little emotional about it. Like I'd be in a hurry. I'd want to go get that baby out of Roachy, you know.
Sorry, Ash.
So
How would you drive across the Atlantic?
Oh, Roachy, stop! I'm pretending you live down the street. But I'm saying there's a lot of things that make us emotional, and there's a whole argument for that. I mean, I have, and I'm not embarrassed. I'm not ashamed to say this. I have pulled over my car more times than I've done this show with Roachy because I was crying like a little baby so hard that I could barely see the highway, and I'm like, I need to pull over so I can cry and do my thing and then get back on the road. So I do think there is something to that. And also, have you ever seen road rage? Have you ever seen like a mad bitch driving or a late bitch driving? This one girl yelled at me in LA. She was like, "You've made me late to my audition." She didn't have a British accent, but we're just gonna go with that. We're at a stoplight. I don't even know this girl. I don't even know what I've done. She rolls down her window and I just see this person screaming. I'm like, what's going on? Thankfully, like the dude I was dating at the time was in the car, but so there was a person between me. She's like, "You've made me late for my audition. Now I'm not going to get the part." Da, 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 da. She's freaking out, screaming. She's also doing her makeup, which is a bit nuts to be doing all at the same time. And I just remember this is one of my most favorite moments about myself. Well, I have so many of them, but I rarely think about them. I was so calm, and I was like, and I said, "Wait, what's a lie?"
That you rarely think about your favorite moments about yourself.
Okay, you could be right there. I'll give it to you.
Yeah.
She was freaking when I'm telling you, we've watched a few videos of women freaking out. She was like, "It's your fault," blah, blah. And I'm just like, at first, if I was by myself, I'd be like, what is wrong with her? You know, because I didn't even notice her until we literally pulled up to a red light. And I just remember she was like, "Bah, you're going to make me lose I'm not going to get this audition. I'm not going to get the part in this." Who the fuck knows whatever she was auditioning for. And I just remember feeling so calm. And I said, "You're not going to get the part because you're rude and you're loud. Have a nice day."
Was there a case that she was method acting and the part was a pissed off driver?
I mean, one can hope because this woman looked so distraught, so freaking out of control. And I actually thought about that. I'm like, is this bitch? But girls in LA, I've seen it more than I want to even understand. They'll be like that in a car, and then they'll walk into I have another story for not Victoria. Then they'll walk into an audition like, "Hi, I'm Cindy, here for the role of blah, 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 blah." It's like, bitch, you just yelled at me at a red light for no reason. Why you were putting on mascara? That's insane. Unless you're auditioning for an insane character, that's insane. I used to watch people fight and yell in the parking lot of my yoga studios over parking spaces. And then come upstairs like, "Hey, Ash." I'm like, what level of crazy is that? Like, I just saw you yelling at Samantha about a parking space like 2 minutes ago through the window, but now you walk in all zen. Okay, cool.
Wait.
Is late?
You
Yes,
didn't
yes.
Dang.
Or capital firm
What
created
did
by
I not do?
Right,
I'm sure I'm not doing everything.
I fucked that up. That was me.
No,
Right,
you never fucked
No,
up.
I rewound it and I didn't mean to. Right. So you were
Well,
going
she
to set
only
this up.
fucks up when he fucks up.
You were going to set this up correctly, right? You were talking about driverless cars before.
Oh, thank you. Okay, so there is a working theory. Okay, so thank you, Roachy. Always keeps me on the track that the train doesn't like to stay on sometimes.
Stop. Because you're getting sidetracked. We're talking about the fact that cars nowadays.
I know. And I made up a cute song on the way. So we've talked about how they're putting it in, and they're saying I did get derailed, and that's why Roachy is here. One of the many reasons we have our lovely, beautiful, handsome, charming roadster. Okay, so they're like everything else. It's for your benefit. It's to keep you safe, right? So to eliminate drunk driving, to eliminate emotional driving, to eliminate, this is for your safety, right? But it's actually just spying on you. This case that we found this week, and when I say we, I mean me, is a man was late. Shut up, Roachy. A man was late on his car payment. First things first, my dad always said, don't have notes. Buy shit outright. But, people do what you want. I'm just saying my dad said that. And it makes sense. Like, I have a car, it's paid for, and I never have to worry about a monthly payment. Because this man did not apparently pay his monthly car payment, his car stops in the middle of like a 3-4 lane highway, Roachy. Don't look so excited to be here, by the way, all the time. It's making me too excited. So a couple things. There's a theory that this is not real because that's really dangerous. Right?
Well, also, if your vehicle does stop because you haven't made a payment and shit in the middle of the street, why would you get out of the vehicle?
Well, I think several reasons. Wouldn't you be like, why is there something wrong with my car? Did the engine, am I out of gas? I didn't realize it. I mean, yeah, a lot, but I agree with Roachy, and you guys will see a lot of this feels very sus. I also think because there's a liability on the car company, right? If a car stopped in the middle of, like, for example, 405 in any pretty much time of day in LA, that's really messed up. Not only for traffic, not only for it's potentially, it could be deadly. People could die, Roachy. People could die. So I feel like if they were going to make that move, like, hey, you didn't make your payment, so you can't drive your car anymore, they'd probably wait for you to pull up into your driveway where they can then tow your car away until you pay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they would repo the vehicle rather than...
Right, and they have the address, they have all that stuff. Right, exactly. But to what end, right? Like, I always think, what is the benefit of the person doing something ridiculous? To what end would a car company want to stop a car, in this case it's a Ford Bronco, in the middle of a highway? They want to get that car back because they can resell it, right? Why would they, you know what I mean? Like, why would they?
Yeah, of course.
And also, what is it, like 3 o'clock on Tuesday? You know what? Cut the car off. He was supposed to pay by 2 o'clock today. You know what I mean? Like, how does that even?
That's why I said
entire planet from a home computer.
Sorry, Roachy. Sorry.
That's the company that makes what you just saw there.
You did the same thing.
I didn't do it on purpose. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Sorry.
Right, ready?
Yeah, but you were saying something.
No, it's fine. Here we go.
Of nearly the entire planet from a home computer.
Is it because I didn't make my payment on my Ford Bronco? Ford shut down my car because the payment is late? Dang, that's rough. That's like a scam, right?
Well, sir, you should have made your payment, quite frankly. Sorry, Roachy, what were you going to say?
Yeah, or how about this? Maybe, just maybe, we live in a culture nowadays where people go, I want attention that much. I'm going to stop my vehicle in the middle of the road, walk around it whilst filming. And if you pay close attention, he's about to talk about how dangerous this is. But you'll notice he stopped at a red light.
Oh, I thought he's in the middle of the highway. I don't see the red light. Where's the red light?
Well, or a junction, sorry, forgive me. You'll see it in a second. You ready?
You're forgiven.
You ready? I'm
ready. Are you ready?
So my brand new Bronco with 3,000 miles on it is broke down in the middle of... I don't think Ford realizes how rough it is out here. Doing my best.
Almost like it looks like he's in a different location all of a sudden. Right, ready?
I mean,
You're
that could
right.
be
You're right.
killed. I'm in like 60-mile-an-hour traffic here.
How about this? Don't say 60 miles per hour traffic when vehicles are stopped.
Because they're
Again,
definitely not going 60 miles an hour.
yeah. Again, it's almost like it's an attention-seeking thing. But this is what I do. I do find this fascinating doing this stream with you, actually, to find out what you've seen on social media and gone, oh, I want to talk about this, because it does give an insight into you. And again, I'm not saying you believe this at all. I think you saw this and went, well, this is an interesting topic to talk about, which it is.
Well, I
but-
think it's yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Go on.
No, go.
You first.
Age before beauty.
Well, then you
Well,
better
I
go
just think it's
first.
interesting how many freedoms are being taken from people, and I'm not sure if this is real or not. But go ahead, please, my love.
All right, I'll press play.
No, say what you were gonna say. You
wasn't
you
gonna
were
say
saying
anything.
something like it shows me something into Ashley's mind. I was just thinking. Well, first of all, I'm naive, guys. If no one welcome, if it's your first time here, so I often will send stuff sometimes to Roachy, and Roachy will be like, this is AI or this is BS, or I'll send it to someone else. I have the propensity to think that a lot of things are real. So I thought this was real, and I was like, this is intense. Like, people are going through an intense time. You couldn't have figured out, I don't know, payment plan, something, but to stop someone's car. But what I was going to say is that I don't like, just on principle, because I am a woman of principle, I don't like that he's justifying not paying. Whatever, if this is real or not, if he's trying to get attention or not. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, why are you justifying your irresponsibility with their decision?
Ash,
Even though
can
I
you
don't
bring-
agree with the decision. Does that make
can-
sense?
can- yeah. Can you bring up the last chat that's just been made in the comments?
Oh my gosh, we got to do this week, love, because I can't. I mean, you're making me
We're
work.
trying to figure it out, but you
You're
have to
making
play
me work
StreamYard.
so hard. I'm just kidding. I just got to get down there.
Bring up the fucking chat.
I'm at the top. Which one is it? Brand.
Right at the bottom.
brand?
Yeah. So, according to Google, Ford doesn't do this. So it does lead to what I suspected this is. We now live in an age, clearly, because me and Ashley are doing this right now, which is we've gone live, give us attention, right? And that's gotten to the point where even people driving vehicles, which can be dangerous, have decided, I'm just going to stop in the middle of the road and do a video and post that up for what? For likes, for interactions, for a dopamine hit.
Did you
Which
hear
is a
about this?
scary thought, right?
Did you hear about this social media boycott that starts today that we're already in violation of? There's a group of people that are not going to use social media from August 1st to August 7th.
Wait,
That
Ash,
means-
how did they announce that?
I saw it. So I really love this guy. Shout out iTrack. I mention him a lot. And this is where I find a lot of this stuff, by the way. EYETREK. So I don't have TikTok. I never will. Different conversation. But he pulls up all these TikToks, and that's where I saw it.
So people on TikTok were announcing on TikTok that they're not going to use the social media platform TikTok for
All
what
of
reason?
them. So I think
All of them,
TikTok is one of those platforms that does have a lot of trends, or they all get together and do stuff and they hashtag stuff, even though that happens on all social media. Yeah. But no, they're calling it a boycott or a fast, a social media fast or something. But no Facebook, no YouTube. We're already in violation. I just realized that, Roachy. We should both spank. I was gonna say spank each other, but
So
no Facebook, no MySpace, because I heard MySpace is coming back. No Twitter, nothing for 7 days.
it's weird. I didn't realize. Again, I don't use TikTok neither, but I didn't realize that social media sites have become like airports now, where people have to announce their departure. How about just don't fucking use it?
Well, I think what people are trying to do is, band together and actually, because, if a couple of people aren't using it or they do their own personal social media fast, the company's not going to notice. But if a whole bunch of us didn't, then that might get attention. It's like I think it's a cool idea. I just I'm not sure it's gonna work out the way that they think, if that makes sense. But I mean, things that blow my mind are many, as we know. Okay. Mark Zuckerberg's kids are not allowed to use Facebook, or even I don't think they even have a lot of what's it called, screen time, whatever. That guy that
At
was
least
super.
that's what his publicist wants people to believe. But go on.
But wait, why would his publicist want him to believe that? Because it's not a great look for Facebook, which is where he makes money.
Because remember, he's the head of Meta, right? And his public image is deemed to be very important. So therefore, if people like myself have a little bit of an eye towards that, going, this is bad, oh, don't worry, he doesn't allow his kids to use this platform that he's promoting, because he knows that this platform ultimately isn't good for young developing minds. Yeah. And in which case I therefore, as the reader of this news, would go, oh, so he's not a bad guy after all. It's all about perception.
But in this specific case, I 100% heard every word you said, which is usually not the case. I'm just kidding. Yes, but this is his product. It would be like if I was teaching yoga and had a bunch of studios, but I was like, my kids don't do yoga. There's a brave man that worked for Facebook or something like this, and he talked about how they literally, you mentioned the dopamine, how they literally, I feel like this is common knowledge to everyone, but it also bears repeating, that they very specifically studied how to do those dopamine triggers, how to make it. I mean, guys, come on. We'll like post something. I'm guilty too. How many likes? Like, how many comments? What did they say? You know what I mean? It's a very tricky mental place for navigating at this time. Wouldn't you agree, Roachy?
Yeah, 100%. Do you want me to put the? Oh no, I can't. You got to upload the fucking video onto the screen.
You know what? Did you eat today?
Yeah. Why?
All right, good. You just seem a little bit cranky.
I could be killed. Expressway.
So that's everything. I could be killed. How about this then? You exit your vehicle in the third lane. You could walk over to what you guys call the fucking sidewalk. Again, this is infuriating, but a good video to play because it makes people talk about it. Right?
And it's a very nice car. And I'm sorry, like, I mean, I'm not sorry. When I say that, sorry, not sorry. It's like, if you can't afford, that looks like a very new, expensive Ford Bronco. I dig it. Besides the fact that I know it's going to spy on me, I'm not interested in it. But I don't know how much that cost a month, but it sounds like he's overextended himself. But very good point, Roachy, because making that video is almost like something you would think someone is, I could have died, da 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 da, right?
Yeah, I'm in danger right now, but let me get my phone out and make sure I'm recording it. And then possibly I'm making this assumption before I get out of danger. Let me just upload this to my social media accounts. Wait, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. Oh shit, YouTube, fucking Rumble.
And I think there was also probably a call after. Yeah, so I'm late on my payment, but you just put my life in danger. So what are you going to do for me?
Exactly. Should I press play?
Whenever you're ready, darling.
Oh, hey, look, divine providence. You got to listen, because sometimes when God speaks, it's not all what you want it to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah, okay, so you're a religious guy, and
Yeah, like, why are you bringing God into this? Sorry, go ahead.
that's the point, right? The guy's inadvertently trying to preach his religion.
Well, he didn't get to you and me, did he?
I don't know. I can't speak about you, but he certainly didn't get to me.
Well, I believe in God. I love Jesus and God.
That's a different topic, but anyway, here we go.
This probably saved me from a really bad accident. But anyway, Ford Bronco, number one. 75 grand. Middle 275. Shut down and completely broken and busted.
Why is his day?
Right. This
75 grand in the middle of 275. I just feel like that's a weird coincidence. Also, sir, again, if you can't make your car payments, perhaps look into another vehicle. Sorry, Roach.
so now this is going to change complete directions. Right.
I'm ready.
I'm surprised that it's taken this long for anybody, let alone yourself, to be able to have this conversation and not get immediately booted from YouTube. Right. This is the topic of one Fauci. Right.
Oh, okay. So we're moving to the next one. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Now, before we continue,
Mother Teresa's son, allegedly.
Before we continue, this first video is going to make you upset, but you sent it to me, so
Yes. And so here's what's up, guys. Roachy's going to have his topic, and I kind of want to do a small little section of like dogs that are available or animals that you could help. Like I do want to have something with animals every week, but you have to understand this about me, guys. I am so obsessed as I'm fine using that word, with animals and taking care of them, that it literally hurts my heart. So yes, I've seen this, but here's what's up. If they're going through it, we can at least freaking watch it. When 2020 happened, I remember getting a copyright strike and I couldn't go live or use my channel for a week because I posted a speech from the World Health Organization. I'm going to say that one more time because I still can't believe that. They removed it later, but I literally posted a speech from the World Health Organization. How is that a violation?
right, that's the first issue you've got, right? When did the
I have
world
so many issues. Don't get me
all
started.
agree that the World Health Organization, that is funded in part by world governments, by the way, yeah,
Globalism.
was the be all and end all authority figures on how people should act, right? Because that was the one thing that did piss me off, yeah. Because you're going, okay, wait a minute. So this is a governing body that deals with every country in the world that will declare an emergency in such country, even though a country would have its own sovereign, for example, but yet they could declare an emergency, for example, in Kenya, for example, you know, with like Ebola or some shit like that, which is weird because you go, so who is the health organization again? Oh, that's right. It's funded by, you know, the UK government, the American government, shit like that. But who's actually governing them? You know, again, you can go down a rabbit hole of conspiracies and shit like that. However,
Sorry.
Go on. No, go on. Say your fault.
I was going to say I might close my eyes for this part, guys, because I have seen it, but I would like everyone to watch it, and I would like no one to forget. Sorry, go ahead, love.
Press play, because I literally just allow the guy to say the spiel about the dogs, and then it goes into Fauci. Was he speaking to Congress
this week?
Yeah, was that what it was? It was the Senate. Yeah. Sorry, forgive me. Yeah, which I found interesting because it's like, okay, then this is taking you guys what? So COVID ended what 2022. It's taking you guys 4 years to bring this guy up, to question the guy. Surely American politics should.
Remember, he was pardoned by Shmuel Buckman. Did you get that joke? He was pardoned by Joe Biden.
Mm-hmm. So again, this is all just. But the
presidential pardon doesn't apply to Congress and Senate, to my understanding. Go ahead.
Yeah, but then all again, this is just theatre for your politicians to go, look, see, we were right. We did hold somebody accountable, but yet a previous sitting president pardoned the guy, and what we're doing right now amounts to nothing whatsoever. It's all just theatre.
I don't disagree with you. I mean, the man, this has to be a record. If anyone in the chat can find this out for us, I would be really grateful. Doctor, is he even a doctor? I don't know. Embarrassing. He invoked the Fifth Amendment 111 times. But besides the fact that he is a completely insane person, in my personal opinion, he's also disgusting and a sadist, and he also hurts animals. One of his sick ass experiments that he used American U.S. tax dollars to do, but somehow in the U.S. we don't get that down and dirty. So they have labs in other countries in Asia that have more lax laws on what you can, how bad you can torture animals, basically.
Least we forget, Ashley, it's
Let
a
me
known
finish
fact.
before. Just calm down. They took out vocal cords of beagles. Literally put all these like wasps or bees, and just watched them suffer and not be able to scream. Oh, and don't forget that the motherfucker is so sick, excuse my language, he had the dogs looking at each other while they're suffering. So I might close my eyes during this part. Sorry, Roachy, I just had to get that out.
Go on, press play, and then I'll pause it when it ends. Go on.
All right, I'm going to close my eyes probably. Okay, the dog
Right, bring
part
it to-
first, right?
Bring it up onto the stage. Yeah, bring it up onto the stage, and I'll go from there.
Because of this other issue that he faced. Another disgusting issue.
Yeah, cover your eyes.
This. I don't even know if I could read this article out loud on the air as to how this guy has treated dogs and how he's treated animals in the course of his scientific research. But this picture here you see are two dogs which are in this mesh netting here. What they did was they infected them with some sort of parasite and then sicked flies on the dogs.
Tenderhauling.
They also
Right,
took
so-
out the vocal cords.
Yeah, but I cut that out because that's what you need. What's great about this to me is, fair enough, you can be like an animal lover and not like experiments on animals, which is a righteous thing to do, right? But would you rather
Depending on who
experiments
you
be-
ask. I mean, not everyone thinks it's righteous, but it's just who I am.
Well, no, it's a baseline thing, right? Nobody can argue that it's not a wrong opinion for you to have. However, I'm of this mindset. I'd rather experiments be done on animals than on humans.
Okay, I disagree with you there. I think Fauci and a lot of the pedo people and all the like people that are on death row, and the DNA has been confirmed, because that is how the amount of people that have been vindicated and cleared of crimes but sat in jails for years is absolutely insane. I think those humans should be used for human testing. Why are we using mice, innocent mice? Leave the animals alone. Period. Why are we using monkeys and mice and dogs, for fuck's sake? Excuse my language. It's embarrassing. It's disgusting. It's horrible. I wore mascara, so I'm not going to cry, but it's very upsetting. And the solution is this. All the, PDFs, whatever we call them, all the Fauci, I would love to see in exactly the same position as those beagles. He deserves that, except more and a longer period of time.
And there is an argument, for example, fucking bird flu that is now transmitted. Bird flu.
Oh, I thought he said bird food. I was like, oh shit, I just got bird food. What happened? Bird flu is that, yeah.
Yeah. That's transmitted towards humans now, or can be, right? There is an argument to be had that you have to test on birds for bird flu in order to figure out how that disease is mutating in order to go into humans. Therefore, unfortunately, you do have to do experiments on animals.
This makes a tiny bit of sense, but how do you know they're telling the truth, Roachy? For example, I've learned today that leprosy is making a comeback. There are 17 cases as of this morning in Florida of leprosy, and they're blaming armadillos.
I mean, there's
Make
several
it's like, again, It's always attacking the people that can't speak. It's not people, the animal, things that can't speak. Armadillos have been around forever. They have leprosy has been around. I could be wrong about this. Longer than armadillos. I mean, leprosy was a thing
Yeah.
when Jesus was chilling. Remember, he was the only person that would go hang out with them. Everyone else was afraid of them. But now it's armadillos' fault.
Yeah.
And do you remember when they called all? It was in not Finland, Scandinavia. Shut up. It's in one of those countries. You know what I'm talking about. Belgium. I think it was Belgium. They culled, and that word is dark as fuck to me. Culled. It's like a genocide on animals. Do you remember this? I think they were called minks. They were like these little very cute animals, and they killed thousands and thousands and thousands of them because they thought that it was related to something. Mad cow disease. How many cows died from that? Then chickens. Like they just kill. Like I feel like they come up with all these reasons to blame animals for shit they probably made up in a freaking lab, and
Well,
it's not nice.
The mad cow disease, I can only speak on the UK version of this because you guys still got mad cow disease, unfortunately, because you guys ain't got the restrictions that we do have in the UK. However, that was a scenario where the farmers wasn't being so what's the right word, careful with what their cows were eating. It turns out that the cows were potentially eating pig meat as well as their own kind, right? So therefore it got the parasite, which is known now. I forget the term for it, but it's known as cow disease, right? And therefore, any cow that has that, any of their meat is then infected. And only 2 people, by the way, died of mad cow disease. But yet, up to about 90% of the British beef had to be culled in the 90s because they couldn't risk this disease spreading. Right, so there's no mad cow disease in the UK anymore. We've got I implore anybody in the chat to go and watch Clarkson's Farm. They do this weird.
Was it Clarkson's Farm?
Yeah, Clarkson's Farm. It's on Amazon Prime. In this last series, they do one particular episode on this on the cows. They test. I don't know whether it's the lymph nodes of a cow or whatever. They test on like lumps on their shoulders. Yeah, and depending on the size of the lump. To this graph, to depending on whether this cow has to be destroyed because it could potentially have like cow disease or whatever the fuck. Yeah, it turns out that spoilers if you haven't seen it already, some of these cows had to get culled and killed, and they didn't have this disease. We are that strict on the shit, right? Jeremy Clarkson's Farm. Thank you, Steve.
Well, it sounds like you're saying that with pride. And when you say they had to cull a bunch of beef, they had to cull a bunch of conscious animals that were innocent, mostly probably all of them. And whose fault was it? Back to the beginning of your story that this happened. The farmers, not the cows.
Okay. Ash, have you had an interaction with a cow, Ash?
Yes.
Okay.
I milked a cow before.
Yeah, I'm currently milking a cow. What's funny is cows are not smart at all.
Cows are very smart and sensitive.
They are thick as shit.
That's what you meant by thick earlier, and I knew it. They are not. I mean, most of them are born and raised, and their babies are born and raised, if they're not turned into veal, in these awful, traumatic, insane conditions.
Ash, if I could be asked, I would look this up. I've seen a video of a cow walking into an electric fence over 10 times in a row in under a minute. They are.
I don't want to hear about that. I don't want to hear about that. Do you know what? That cow probably was trying to escape and get to freedom. Don't be mean to my friends.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Well, nothing says honesty like taking the fifth, huh, Doc?
Okay, wait, hold on.
Let's
Let me
try
pause.
something.
So I've never heard of this dude before. You guys know I do not politic. I think his name is Moreno or Moraine, Moreno or something. I love this dude. I love this guy. So Fauci is now in a Senate situation, and because he's such a brave, heroic person we should all look up to and all should have listened to back in 2020. This is how this is your man. It's
What day of the
embarrassing.
week is it today?
Literally, he said, "What day of the week is it today?" Wait for it.
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
What color tie are you wearing?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
What color's the carpet in front of you?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
Let's just get one thing straight. You don't have any rights under the Fifth Amendment because you've been pardoned, as you very well know. As the Supreme Court has been clear for a century and more, Brown versus Walker, 1896, when he has been pardoned, he may not stand upon his privilege.
So, this is my argument, Ash. This is all theatre. Because if that act still stands, Fauci didn't have to show up.
His lawyer could have just shown up for him, right?
Not even the lawyer. There's no
the
need.
lawyer was actually not supposed to be there, but why wouldn't he have to show up? Sorry.
Because he'd been pardoned. And the way the guy just announced that, under that act, there was no need for him to appear because he's been pardoned.
But I believe his pardon does not exempt him from Senate, if I'm not mistaken.
But like you said, he doesn't have to hide beyond the Fifth Amendment because he's been
Well, if you
pardoned.
listen to what he says,
accused.
he says that. Do you want to rewind it just like 4 seconds? The guy says, you've been pardoned, but that doesn't have any. It doesn't have any weight here. It doesn't have any bearing in this situation, this Senate situation.
I'll try it now.
As you very well know, as the Supreme Court has been clear for a century and more, Brown versus Walker, 1896, when he has been pardoned, he may not stand upon his privilege.
I think that means what you've been pardoned. You're not going to jail, but the Senate can still ask you to.
All right. Okay. So he's then pardoned. He can say what he wants, and they won't hold it against him. That's what. Yeah. Fair enough.
I believe so, but
yeah. Okay. Okay. I'll press play.
You know that. Your lawyer's sitting behind you now, shifting nervously in their chairs. They know it. This isn't about the Constitution. This isn't about the law. This is about contempt. Contempt for this body and contempt for the American people. But I think I know why you're doing it. It's because you don't want to answer questions. It's because you did all kinds of terrible things. It's because during the pandemic, you got rich, didn't you? You got.
Now, this is interesting.
Follow the money. What, love?
Because, again, this is interesting because, again, let's rewind 4 years, which would be 2022. If you were to say that on certain social media platforms, you may potentially be fucking like, your video demonetized or whatever, or your especially as a UK citizen, your post may have put you under a light. There was stories of the police investigating people making Twitter posts talking about don't take the vaccine. Just that's the only word they said. It wasn't related to COVID.
The jab.
Well, that's it. That's the word. Don't take the jab, right? And it's like, well, that's just a statement. It's not necessarily related to COVID or whatever. It's just jab, right? But people were getting investigated by the police because I don't know if you're aware of this, Ash, right?
I am. Do you remember the woman who was married with 3 children that made a Facebook post? She lived in London, made a Facebook post. The bobbies, the English officers of the law, as Roachy would say, go to this woman's house. This is your Facebook account. 3 cops, no guns, go to her house, and they're like, "This is your account. This is what you did," and she's like a normal, wealthy. Pay attention, Roachy. Normal, thank you. Normal, wealthy woman with a husband and 3 kids who was just expressing what is here called your First Amendment right of free speech. But then I learned this. Isn't this interesting? Tell me if I'm correct. In the United States, you're innocent until proven guilty. In the UK, you're guilty until you prove yourself innocent.
No. you're innocent until proven guilty. The difference is over here, we don't have the freedom of speech. So,
Wait a minute. Hold on. This is blowing my mind. You guys do not have freedom of speech?
no, because we're not considered citizens. We're considered peasants. We're under the crown. So therefore, we have to abide by the crown. And if the crown don't want us to say something, we're not allowed to say it. Where you guys in America are considered free people, free citizens. That's why the original founders of America, when they fled UK and other countries, is they wanted religious freedoms. Where over here, at the time, we're run by the Church of England, which is almost like...
believe me, I give my brother shit about this all the time. I'm like, aren't you embarrassed? You're paying
Bear in
for the
mind-
ugliest hats, the jubilees, and the stupidest outfits. And one of the biggest crimes in history is your queen's outfits and hats. So ugly
God
and
bless us.
expensive.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. Anyway, let's
Do
get
you
back
guys
to...
pay taxes for the country plus taxes to the monarchy, right?
Well, it's just you get charged taxes, but yeah, technically. Yeah, so instead of it just being, oh, this money's going to government funds to fund whatever, it will be, okay, a portion of that goes to the monarchy.
Remember when I told you I was going to try to come to your country and be a refugee?
Yeah, and I told you that it wouldn't work because you're coming from a free land.
I've changed my mind anyway, so.
There you go. Anyway, back to Fauci and his blatant, what's the right word?
His blatant disregard of humans, his participation in, there's not even words for how disgusting this man is to me. And he's also like 5 feet tall, and I will bet you anything his penis is smaller than half of the size of a grain of rice. Same.
You have to present the video.
While people were dying, hundreds of thousands of Americans, over 1 million in the end, and you were getting rich, and not only were you doing that, you were using federal employees with taxpayer money to apply for and solicit cash prizes for you personally. Cash prizes totaling over $1 million. You did all of that during the pandemic, didn't you? That's a question.
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
You remember Greg Folkers? Who was that?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
Your chief of staff is the answer. Do you remember Patricia Conrad? Who was that? Well, nothing says honest.
Right, so this is where I've gone, oh, this would be the end of the clip, but you sent me another video. So this is just a quick YouTube short, the amount of times he said I plead the fifth, which is how many times, Ashley?
111.
Here we go.
See, like taking the fifth, huh, Doc? What day of the week is it today?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
What color tie are you wearing?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
What color's the carpet in front of you?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
What does the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution say?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution.
Do you have the dignity to just say you're sorry?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution. Respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution.
Now, what's funny about that, Ash, is you kind of go, okay, you can, if you're objective about this, you can go, well, he's just using his rights as a citizen. If we hadn't already heard that he doesn't need to do that. However, this next clip is kind of...
Is this the standing up one?
Oh, yeah. This is like the blatant disrespect and how much he couldn't give a flying fuck about anybody else apart from himself, by the looks of it.
100%. But also, if somebody asks you, okay, Roachy, let's say you committed a crime and you had to go in front of Parliament. Okay, no, actually, you don't have you have the Fifth Amendment.
Nope.
Okay, so say you're in the U.S. and you commit a crime, which is very plausible, knowing you, and so
I can
somehow you
choose
end up
not to. If I'm in a court of law, I can choose not to speak.
court of law with officers of the law. If they asked you, Roachy, what color shirt are you wearing? Why would you plead the fifth on that? What color is the what day is it? Is it Wednesday? Why plead the fifth on this?
Because he has the right to do so. So therefore, that's what he's doing. He doesn't want to give them anything, right? Which is kind of ironic because remember, during COVID, that motherfucker wanted to go on every single TV show he could to tell you, as an American citizen, what you should do.
Well, he wasn't just telling America, he was telling the whole entire world.
You think the world listened to Fauci? No, they listened to the World Health Organization, which is even worse because Fauci was telling them what to fucking do. Anyway,
who was the guy? You had Boris, that guy. Boris was definitely friends with Fauci. They probably still hang out. Okay. You have to present it, Roachy.
No, you have to.
So you didn't know who wrote the Fifth Amendment. It's James Madison. I can only wonder what he would think of somebody like you invoking his writings to shield culpability for the actions that you took. It's no secret why you have to hire the biggest dirtbag attorney on the planet.
Ash, I got to ask. I did see a clip, and I should have bought it. Didn't his attorney get thrown out?
Oh, yes. Somebody told me, you know how you just said it's theater? And I was just thinking in my head, maybe 111 is a number that means something because they do weird occult code things with numbers. But I sent that to someone. They were like, Ashley, that was that was performative. That wasn't real. But yes, his lawyers were not supposed to be sitting next to him. I think he had 6 lawyers or something like that. They weren't even really supposed to be in the room. And the main one is sitting right next to him. And I think he calls him out for that because he keeps talking.
Yeah. Yeah, it was weird because, again, like I said, I only saw it, like, I saw somebody react to that shit. But again, I didn't see the clip in isolation. And to be fair, I really have gotten over the COVID shit, and moved the fuck on. So I've lost all interest in this. So credit to people that are still interested in trying to hold people accountable for shit, where in actual fact, nobody will be held accountable for anything, right? Because you've been pardoned. So.
Well, I don't know. I think the pardon part is separate, but I'll have to look it up. But here's the thing, Roach. I don't know if you got the jab or not, but yeah, we're all over COVID, but there are people that died. There are people that will never be the same again. One of my best friends got Guillain something syndrome. She was with her 2 kids and couldn't move her face and had to do dialysis. I just got the chills. Dialysis for every week for like 2 years. She's one of the healthiest people I know. My mom had a surgery, and I drove there to be with her. Because I didn't get the jab, I wasn't allowed to be in the hospital with her. I was only allowed to stand outside of the hospital and like wave to her through the window. And put my hand up to the glass. What?
You know what's funny? To help you out a little bit, I'll tell you a story. I got both jabs, right? And because I'm in a certain age demographic, the second jab I got was different from the first jab, right? And do I know whether I think I had the Pfizer was the first one, and the second one I forget what the fucking name was.
Moderna,
right? Yeah, something. Yeah, it was Moderna. Funny.
There was Johnson and Johnson, Moderna, and Pfizer, I think.
Yeah. And before I got the second jab, by the way, I was in a fire station getting this jab. By the way, this is how weird this whole COVID shit was, right? Not a hospital.
Why fire station?
Right? Because they needed to get as many people vaccinated as possible, right?
Why did you do it?
I'll explain why.
Okay.
In a second.
You'll explain for why.
Right. So I'm stood in this queue, and this wonderful Irish lady, who's volunteering to do this shit, right, says to me, okay, because your age and like what you've had before, can you please read through this and then sign it? I said, is this a waiver? She said, practically, yes. I didn't look at it. I just fucking signed it. I already seen social media videos, yeah? I went, fuck it. Do you know why? Because I didn't care. I went and got the fucking vaccine just to appease the powers that be. Why is that? Because I've grown up not being a free citizen, right? I know I'm considered a peasant. If you tell me I've got to take a jab, fuck it, I'll take a jab. How about this, Ash? Do you know what's crazy? Couldn't say this during the pandemic, but it's the truth, yeah? I have arthritis, yeah? I never had arthritis until I had the fucking measles jab when I was a 12-year-old, right? Is that a coincidence? Possibly. Who knows? But I linked the two together. Now, me saying
Something
that,
inside of your body knows. That's what it sounds like. Sorry, don't
me
interrupt.
saying that, yeah, potentially is dangerous. So I will say this. I am pro-vaccine. I really am pro-vaccine. That's why I got 2 jabs. Also, I'm a heavy fucking smoker. I hate when I see something and I believe in it, whether that be conspiracy theory, which this is, by the way, where people were saying this. Oh, you get a second jab, people's young males' hearts would like expand or whatever, you know, get clotted up and shit like that. Yeah. Bollocks.
A lot of young athletes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Bollocks. No. Ash, what's funny is you remember, yeah, during the height of the pandemic, when people were all stuck indoors, had nothing else to do but watch social media, and everybody seeing the magnifying glass of, look at this athlete in America that suddenly dropped and had a heart attack. Look at this soccer star that's dropped and had a heart attack. Yeah. Mm-hmm. How comes that's not continuing now? It's almost as if it was propaganda and bollocks. Yeah. Because ultimately, what they want, yeah, because you guys are free citizens in America, is you to be fearful and to fight against each other whilst the elite get away and take all the fucking money. And that's what's happening in every single country in the world.
It's just in a different version. It's just a different version. It's just like the same thing. And it's like, you know, it's really heartbreaking to me. I was going to say this, though. For example, my friend I mentioned before, Guillain syndrome, something like that. My friend, Guillain-Barré, something maybe. It's named after a woman that got literally vaccinated, I believe, for polio, and was she wasn't able to move her face and was in a wheelchair for the rest of her life. My friend is my friend's husband is a doctor, and so, you know, during that period of time, I think we all experienced like. It was a way to, it was just another way for us to be divided, right? Like, stay away from the unvaccinated, no, all this stuff. But I remember my friend, and I won't say her name because it doesn't matter, when all this was going down, I was like, yo, what does your husband think? What does he say? And she's like, oh, of course we're doing everything, blah, 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 blah. She said, Ashley, when I got the booster, I knew it. I felt it. I took my kids home. I was playing with them. Like, her kids were quite young then, or toddlers. You know, they're still pretty young. But she was terrified. Her husband was at work, and the kids were like, "Mom, what's going on? What's going on?" She's like, "Ashley, I was lying down in between her youngest's." I don't know why I want to say cradle. I feel like it is cradle, but I want to say pen at the same time. It's bigger than a cradle, I guess. And the other one was playing on the floor. And she couldn't move, but she doesn't want her kids to worry, right? And so she's like, it's okay. I'm fine. Can you guys just get my phone and call daddy? I still have the chills about this. Can you just call daddy? I'm fine. She's like, actually, I couldn't move. I couldn't move my arms. I couldn't move my legs. I couldn't move my face. I just, one of her daughters brought the cell phone so she could call her husband, who's a doctor, and he rushed home. You know, they took her there but that was that. I mean, she's still not the same after a year or almost 2 years of dialysis once a week and a bunch of other stuff, which is tragic. Huh?
So I don't know whether I'm able to convey this thought that's just put to my head, but I think this is an interesting topic to talk about, right? Now, yes, did people have injuries from getting vaccinated? Yes. But people do all the time, whether that be a vaccination for a flu jab, you know, for example. Every individual is different. However, we just spoke about experiments on dogs, right? Yeah, and animals.
Unfortunately, that came up. Yes,
and you're against that, right? Yeah,
very
which is fine,
vehemently against it.
Mhm.
Vehemently.
hmm Now, when you do experiments on animals, you find out what's good and what's bad. Yeah, right?
Not really. They're not humans.
For example,
Go on.
for example, the vast majority of makeup items that you wonderful ladies use on a daily basis, I assume, were all tested on animals, right?
And they're all fucking toxic, by the way. We should all stop wearing makeup.
But not toxic enough for them not to be able to sell, right?
Yeah, because they fuck with us.
And I think
McDonald's shouldn't be legal to buy in America. But sorry, go ahead.
and I think
I digress.
I think
What?
my point of I think where I was trying to go with this, it's the same with the COVID jab, right? It was fast tracked through. However, the principle of that I can't even remember what the fuck they called it, but that style of jab, yeah, was already
mRNA.
that was already being like tested through, and they were testing it on pigs, and it worked, right? Bear in mind that we're really close to pigs' DNA, aren't we? Right. So if we didn't experiment on pigs, we wouldn't have been able to fast track this vaccine, get the world back open again, and world economies to go up, so that we could all continue eating, living, and fucking breathing.
Do you know that pigs are smarter than dogs and most 4-year-old children?
Not the pigs I've seen.
Roachy, you know what would have been faster? If they would have used PDFs, actual human bodies that have committed unspeakable crimes that taxpayers are just paying. I think it's in the US, something like, I mean, prisons are a big business here. Something like, I think there are more prisons in the US than there are in the whole entire planet. It's something like $1,000 a day per prisoner that comes out of tax dollars, truly. For each prisoner. I think it's 1,000. Somebody can correct me. And they're just sitting there in cages. Why the monkeys and the mice?
Because they haven't got anybody to speak up for them. So fuck them.
Okay, play.
No, literally, yeah. Go on, you got to play.
Well, no, I'm saying that why not use useless humans that we know are monsters that are actually humans to test things that are going to go out and be used on humans?
This was the ethical argument that people like Goebbels would have, right, in the Nazi Party.
I don't know with the girl. I thought you were saying gerbils in like a British accent. I was like,
no, Goebbels.
Who are the Goebbels?
Mm-hmm. And what did they do? No.
What did they do? Tell me.
Goebbels, he was, I forget what the fucking rank he was in the Nazi Party, but he was arguing we should test out on people that we believe not to be righteous and less than the purebreds, the Aryans, and therefore let's test out on the Jewish people. Look at the experiments the Nazis did. It's terrible. Yeah, propaganda minister. Thank you, Brent. Yeah, he was a propaganda minister. And he would say, hey, look, we need to find out whether this drug is effective at ending somebody's life. Well, not. Yeah, test out on locales. Hey, Kaz, do you want the link?
Love you. Taz is here. Hi, Taz.
Kaz, bring the funny 1, 2, 3.
Oh, I was thinking of the resident artist, Kaz. Yeah, of course.
Kaz, yeah.
I was gonna say one thing about that. So I've not researched this a ton, but I have stumbled upon a few documentaries. Like, for example, this one guy, the PDF people, this one guy in a documentary about them, he said, do not release me. I cannot help myself. And if you release me, I will go after kids again. I cannot help myself. I don't know how many of them are that honest, but I think there've been a lot of studies that, like, it's just one of those things that it's like you would have a better chance getting off heroin than getting off that weird, disgusting habit or whatever you want to call it, crime, properly. So those are useless people. Why don't we use them? Just saying. Did you have something else to say? Sorry.
No, no. I mean, that's a statement you can make. I can't legally say that statement in this country.
And you know what? What with Charles? Why is he dressed like a girl all the time?
Of what you did. I hope you're paying him well. And I hope that one way or the other, somewhere, sometime, you answer for your crimes. Can you do me a favor in the audience and stand up if during the time of the COVID pandemic, you were called a racist for calling the virus a Wuhan virus or the China virus? If you thought the 6-foot rule was total crap, if you thought the vaccine wasn't something that you should take, if you thought it was outrageous the way the mask policy was rolled out, if you were fired from your job for not taking that vaccine, including members of the military, if you thought closing schools was catastrophically stupid, and
how many points does he want to make?
Well, they're all valid, but I want to say this. Back then, in the beginning, I think everyone kind of like the 6 feet thing. I was like, okay, I remember Hondo was just a pup, and people would be like, "Can I pet your puppy?" And I'm like, "Excuse me, I'm sorry. Like, do you know what's going on in the world?" I was giving Hondo baths like 3 times a week, and I was like, "I'm so sorry. No, you can't,"
Sorry.
because I didn't want to.
You were worried about your dog potentially
In the very beginning, love, because it was like this deadly thing. Oh, this is what I wanted to mention. Does everyone please remember that that the flu disappeared from the Western Hemisphere at the same time that COVID showed up?
No. Right. So the issue there is you've got, I don't know whether it was the same in the States. I'm making the assumption it is. Over here in the UK, there was an incentive for the NHS, each individual area has their own, to say that somebody died from COVID because they were getting money for that, right? So, therefore, nobody died of the common flu because they tested positive for COVID 3 weeks before they died. There's an infamous case of a guy dying in a car accident, and he had tested positive for COVID 3 weeks prior. That hospital registered him as a COVID death because they got money for it.
My friend had it was similar in the US. Also, I think they came out with this. Every COVID death had 1 to 3. Like a person could have cancer and diabetes and maybe something else, but also test positive on those PCR tests. That the guy that developed the PCR test said this is not a test that should be used for this. He was disappeared.
Right, so
like 8 months to a year. Really cool dude. I think he lived in Venice. 8 months to a year, disappeared before COVID. He was literally the man that made the PCR test, I think. He said this is not, he goes, it will show you everything. Everything will come up on this, not just one thing. It won't, you know what I'm saying? I mean, here, I don't know if you guys had that there, but it was like, this was one thing. First of all, my body said no. And I can only say that I am grateful that I wasn't in a position where I had to get it. It wasn't like I was going to lose my job if I didn't get it. I was so grateful just to be safe and not to have to get it. But when they said, you get a year of Krispy Kreme donuts, because that's so healthy. You get a donut every day for 365 days if you get it. You get a hamburger and fries from McDonald's for a year if you get it. Why is the incentivization things that are really, really unhealthy, especially to have every single day for 365 days?
Just funny to counteract your argument of the common flu. Over here, I believe, at least in 2021, the flu jab had an increase of people actually getting that jab. So there could be an argument to be said that vaccination for that common cold that year helped push those numbers down.
I'm just thinking about your body, Roachy. I wish you didn't get it, but I know you're going to be okay. I want to talk to you though, and maybe we'll talk about this next week. There's a few people out there that have cleanses that will literally cleanse like whatever it is, spike protein, whatever the mRNA, like it's what's it called? Research. That's not research and development. Somebody in the chat knows. I always try to think of it myself, so I'm rewiring neural pathways. Uh, Research in motion. I think I'm right. So there are cleanses that you can get it out of your body, and Roachy's going to be the first one to try it, and we'll let you know how that's going. Right,
that
Roachy?
during these times, saying these things made you somehow a lesser human being. Dr. Fletcher, can you just turn around and look at the people behind you?
Sorry, that statement now I object with. Please stand up if you felt like you were being suppressed and didn't feel like a human being.
Yeah, some of his questions were stupid.
Yeah, that's just an emotion. In which case, anybody could fucking stood up. You know? Anyway, sorry.
Feelings aren't facts.
You're not willing to
Everyone
do that?
should have stood up. Sorry.
That's not a question. It's not a question.
Sorry, Ash, I just got to address somebody in the chat. I'm a retarded liberal. Now, how about
Who
this?
said that?
Somebody in the chat. How about this? I'm a free-thinking person. Just because your beliefs ain't what mine are, I think that makes you the retarded one, not me. See what I did there? I used the same logical thinking that you just did.
I saw what you did. I see you, Roach. I saw how you flipped that one around.
To your lawyer, it's not a question. It's a request. All you have to do is look up from your lawyers and look at the people who were absolutely shamed.
Sorry, Ash. Yeah, my beliefs are that retarded. You know what my beliefs are? That people are that desperate to see Stuttering John, they would sit here for 2 hours watching me and Ashley talk absolute bollocks. Congratulations, you're the retard. Here we go.
And
For
here's
saying what
Stuttering
we
John.
know now to be the truth. You can't even look at them? That's a question. Are you able to look at them? Those policies were put in place because you had moronic politicians that listened to the words of a megalomaniac who was more interested in having met a Kardashian than the suffering of the American people. And that is you. You may have had a 50-plus year legacy of public service, but it ends in total and complete disgrace. So let me ask you an opportunity to answer one question. Will you apologize, just apologize, to the people who you harmed?
Right. Everybody join in. You know the answer to the question. When he says it, copy exactly what Fauci's going to say.
Under the advice of counsel, I'm exercising my right, my Fifth Amendment right.
Mm-hmm. Here we go.
Through your actions. Will you say, do you have the dignity to just say you're sorry?
He doesn't have integrity either. He is a soulless, empty man. Look at
On
his
the advice
dead
of
eyes.
counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
And there you go. And that be that.
Sorry, go ahead, love.
I said, and that be that. I just thought it was funny because, again, trust me, I don't think Fauci's a nice person at all. However, I did find it funny that is that a congressman that was asking the question? So I assume.
I think he's a senator.
Or a member of the Senate.
It's Moreno is his last name. M-O-R-E-N-O.
A member of the Senate, right? Yeah, a member of the Senate. For him to say, hey, look, if you felt like you were less than a human, can you stand up? You kind of lost the whole point you were going with because you then reverted to emotions, right? In which case, as an objective viewer of that, even though I don't like Fauci, I kind of go, well, that was a fucking dumb point. You just wanted everybody to stand up. You might as well have said, can everybody stand up? Fauci, can you look around and have a look? That's all you needed to say.
Or maybe like 3 questions, right? Something like this. But I want to tell you, everyone a story. I'll never forget going to drop off my rent check when I was living in my Venice place. And there's this, I used to call him Old Man Billy. I mean, I'm not doxing him. It's just an old man that lived in my building. But I called him Old Man Billy. Just there's a lot of reasons why. But he would always hang out in the office and try to flirt with the women that work in the office. And so I'm walking over to bring my rent check, and I hear him talking. This is 2021. We'll call it March. So this is like in the height of all of it, right? Or the height of the whole like vaccine thing. And people were not allowed to go places. I think there was a period of time we weren't allowed to fly. You couldn't even drive from state to state for a little bit. I heard this old man, Billy, who I yelled at him about this later, obviously. So I'm standing outside and I just hear, and I used to try to avoid old man Billy because he's old man Billy. But he's talking to the lady in the desk at in the office at the apartment complex. And he's going on and on and on and on because old man Billy does this. Yeah, he goes on and on and on. And he goes, you know what I think? Anyone without the jab should just be shot. And I was like, and this was something that this man was comfortable to say out loud at like 5 p.m. on a Tuesday. You know what I'm saying? Like, so imagine the things that people were thinking and stuff, you know? There were so many terrible situations. I remember on dating apps, I wasn't on them at the time, but my friend was. That was one of the things, vaxxed or not vaxxed. I think that still might be a thing on dating apps. Not sure. Somebody can let me know. But it's just wild. And here's what happens. People, and I've noticed this through a lot of things, people are not thrilled to admit that they stood 10 toes down on something that turns out to be detrimental to other people, that made them make decisions that were possibly disgraceful or that they regret. So instead of walking shit back, people will just move on with their lives. They will not admit that they were wrong, even to themselves. I've noticed this. It's a very strange phenomenon, if you will, with human beings. But I mean, how many people spoke out? Fauci was just the loudest. And I think you're right. I think he was placed in that position. You guys should all look up AIDS and what Fauci's affiliation with that was in the 80s. I saw a very interesting piece of footage from the 80s. And he basically says, here's what you do. You introduce I want to say specimen, but that's not the word. You introduce a virus into a population. Introduce the virus into the population.
Yeah.
That's called a strategic plan. That is not how it was presented to us.
You could,
people, if you will.
You could argue it's the same as what they do with propaganda, right?
Yes, you could. I mean, propaganda started with Bernays, really. This guy called Bernays. But I mean, yeah. I mean, what do you mean with propaganda? In regards to what?
In regards to the fact that all you have to do to start, like rumor and speculation, is to say it once in a crowd of people. It's like Chinese whispers, right? It's what everybody says. Yeah. But the difference is with propaganda, at least in this country, is you get all the major media outlets to say the same thing, or along the lines of the same thing.
Yes. Have you seen any of those videos where they all have the same exact talking points?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. It's the same thing. That's why I said it. It's all about propaganda. Anyway, we've got no more videos to play. You probably missed a couple of super chats, which you got to have a look at.
Oh yeah. Thanks, guys, and thank you guys for being here. And I'd love to hear how you guys feel about that. And here's what's up. Like, if you made a decision, everyone was basically told that to be a good person, you have to do this. And I am, thank God for my training and listening to my stomach and my instincts. My body was no. And thank God I didn't have a job that was like, you can't come to work tomorrow and make a living if you don't get it. So they pushed it. The propaganda was bad people don't get it and good people do. And I just think that's a terrible, terrible thing. Hi, Reverend Fugly. Did I miss this one? Can you read it?
Has Roachy earned a foot picture yet, Ashley? Which is weird because Red Fug Lee, you're kind of exposing yourself for wanting feet pictures from female dabblers. I don't know whether you want that rumor spread around, mate.
Oh my gosh. Well, I think he's actually like an I don't want to out Rev. I love you, Rev, but I think he might be asking you either if you want foot pictures from him or possibly maybe he wants some from you.
No, he's saying, have I earned foot pictures from you? He's trying to insinuate that you send him foot pictures to people. And he's forgetting that
privately.
Yeah, and he's forgetting that you've said that, and this is the second time I've noticed that he's super chatted you a similar sort of thing, which is now leading me to think that he's asked you for feet pictures. And I'm quite happy to run around the Dabbleverse saying Red Fug Lee is a weirdo.
Well, that's a lie. Well, he has not asked me for any pictures. You're obviously entitled to your opinion. I think he's a very cool guy. What was I going to say?
How much did he send for the picture?
I know I have a joke, a callback joke for Reverend Fugly.
How much did he send you
owe you $20 for the pictures of his feet. I'm just kidding. How much do I charge?
No, how much did he send you for said picture?
He hasn't sent me a penny. I wish he would for foot pictures. You
didn't.
Are you guys ready for the what, love? Oh, I missed one.
You didn't read the last one. You brought it up. But
Oh, that's on you.
Are you guys ready for the Karmic X tonight? Is that so? That?
That's I stopped on that one. So it's easier. So I unsubscribed from Karmic X. I don't know. You know better than me, Roachy. What, 5 months ago?
Well, he lost his YouTube channel. He's on a new one. But yeah, nobody cares about Karmic X anymore. He's fucking
Yeah, I know. Literally. Let me guess how this is gonna go. Shitty AI music, him screaming on the top of his lungs, drinking and or doing other things, crying most likely. It's been boring.
It's the same old track. Also, you did read this one at one point where you said, "Do you ever see me lean back in the chair?" And I tried to lean back as much as I can.
And I wanted to say you stood up for this guy, Shuli Madoff. He said something rude to me, and I responded in kind. And you were like, "Ashley, that's my friend." I was like, "Tell your friend stop being rude." Thank you, Shuli. Yeah, well, he's better behaved now, so that works for me.
No, you can read that one. You didn't read that.
Well-behaved people. Roachy is complaining more than Eckel today.
Which is interesting because I don't think anybody was watching Nickel. So there you go.
Roachy, you're a sniper. I told you that, right? It's one of the things I love about you. Now that Roachy knows there's Whitney Robot. Wait, would you? This is my sister. Sorry, we're not answering this question. No,
I will answer. I know I'll answer straight. No, I
thank you for the cast. And if you want to answer, okay, but I don't know if I want to hear the answer.
No, I'm being honest. I've seen.
I think the question is, would you fuck my sister's robot? Which is really wild.
And I wouldn't even fuck your sister neither. I've seen how she acts on, like, comedic stuff and actual podcasts, and of no interest. So
wait, hold on. Fuck, marry, kill my sister, my sister's robot, or who do I know you do not like? I don't mind her. Kim Nicholson.
Oh fuck. Well, I'd have to marry your sister, right? I'd have to fuck the robot.
Smart move.
Therefore, because I'm married to your sister, I wouldn't be fucking her. And then I would have to kill Kim Nicholson just to do the due diligence. And I'm glad you brought her up, by the way. Holy shit. Everybody go check her Twitter account. She inadvertently admitted that she's going to be striking YouTube channels now.
What do you mean? How do you inadvertently admit that?
Because she took a screenshot of the MLC chat and said, "Hey, look, just a heads up, dabblers out there, dabbler streamers. There's somebody that's using my actual full name," and she scrubs out the profile picture and says, "Oh, it looks like they're trying to porn bomb people by putting that up." Well, we don't see said picture, and also you're using Twitter, so you didn't have to blur it out, by the way, because Twitter you can, show nudity, I assume, right? But therefore, she's kind of worded it in the way of, if people are going to do this, this is my name, which, bearing in mind, is Kim Nicholson, So how the fuck is that doxing? Because that's your actual fucking name. So you're inadvertently saying that you're going to strike channels? Is that what you're saying? I'll cover it
Is that
tomorrow
a
night.
threat?
That's
or
what
a
I'm thinking.
promise?
She's that stupid, yeah.
Well, bless her. I'm sorry that you're upset with her. I don't have any issue with her. So you would be fucking the robot. Okay. What's up, Rudy Baga? I heard the robot fell apart. The robot is a whole thing. I don't really want to get into it. I've said it before. I don't think my sister likes her robot. This is my opinion. Okay. I don't think she does. Every time I'd go to her house, it's fucking weird, Roachy. The head of the robot is on one chair, and the body of the robot is sitting at the desk across the room. And maybe there's like a leg in the other part of the room. And then, when my sister and I chill, we chill pretty much like every day if she's not out of town. The next literal day, I go to her house, and then the head is on the desk, the body's on the other side of the room, and the arm is on the balcony. And I was just like, what's happening in the 9 hours that I'm leaving? She keeps pushing the robot pieces around this one room. Just spending, I think we read that one. Thank you, 1DC 7876. Come on, Roach, get it together. Get it together, Roach.
You read that one.
I'm being facetious. I know where I'm reading it from is it has a bit of a lag. Did we read this one? You're reading this one if we haven't read it.
For fuck's sake. Remember the next time that you want to fool you and control you, COVID/mind control. Next time to behave, it would happen again. US high Roachy. Yeah. Well, so again, let's be honest. The last time that a global I'm hearing myself
pandemic,
because that's what it was. Whether it was planned or not, we don't really know. That happened was the Spanish flu. It turns out that was
1912.
It turns out that
1912.
That really kind of populated and become a big issue in the States, right? They didn't have vaccinations then. It just happened, yeah? It's the same with, you earlier mentioned, what was that disease you mentioned?
AIDS?
No, fuck.
Oh, Guillain-Barré syndrome? No. Polio?
Leprosy.
Which is now alive and back and trending in Florida.
Okay, yeah. Are you aware that the Black Plague is still around?
I have a funny answer for that. No, I wasn't.
Yeah, no, it's still around and shit. So there you go. Anyway, yeah, as in some of these diseases still exist, or even worse. Sometimes some people will go and find old remains like a woolly mammoth, for example, and then unearthing this woolly mammoth would inadvertently release some disease that's been fucking kept under ice, frozen away for tens of thousands of years. Anyway, read the super chats. I need a piss.
I love your bedside manner. If you read them, it will go faster.
Thanks for the 20 jewels. So are you aware of this? This YouTube's doing these little jewel things now. So I think
I think you get credits for chatting or something.
Sorry to disappoint when Stuttering John going to be here. He had the link.
He had the link. I sent him the link. Love you, John. Mean it. Dan Varney.
Yeah, it gave hundreds to
you guys know that Roachy's also my tutor. I'm just kidding. What is it?
Right, so it says Dan Varley will give hundreds to Shuli, but zero to Ash.
Oh, that's not nice, but good for Shuli. Okay, we've gotten through the super chats. We appreciate you guys so much for being here, and also please let us know topics. A few of you have sent me topics, and I have a list of them. But please, you can message me, Ashley Cummings. What's my Twitter? Ashley V Cummings on X. You can message me. You can message Roachy. Actually, message Roachy, and let us know what would be interesting for you guys to look into more, for us to talk about, things like that. And then don't forget tomorrow, 2 p.m. PST,
so
5 p.m.
sorry, just to give an update. People were saying that Stuttering John is actually going live on his actual channel. So.
Oh, cool. Good time.
But 2 p.m. Eastern time, 5 p.m. Sorry, 2 p.m. Pacific time, 5 p.m. Eastern time. Over on my channel, I will do some bollocks. I don't know. Don't come and follow. I don't want you watching.
Go follow. Go be there. Is there any hint on who you're going to go after tomorrow?
Stealth Chaos. There you go.
Okay. That should be interesting. I have a bone to pick with him, but we'll talk about that another time. All right, guys, I'm going to play the outro. I love you always and forever and I never mean it. Bye. I'm going to leave Roachy up.
This one's for Ashley Cummins. Yeah. The other sister carving her own path. Let's ride! Let's ride. Yoga mat warrior, always getting twisted. They took her favorite speed, left her in the dust. In a stable, but not stable, that's a hard trust bust. World's on fire, relationships a hot mess. She's pouring real tea while spilling her own dress. Earl Skakel cracking up, Roachy in the mix. H-man spitting wild, she keeps it legit.
Hush that fuss. Ashley's coming through, move to the front of the bus. Do you wanna vibe and laugh with us? We the type of people that make the podcast nuts. Hush that fuss. She's the real deal, speaking her mind for us.
It's a beautiful day. Ashley's in the house.
Good vibes today.
She won't hesitate to clap back when it's earned, but mostly here for laughs. Your bad takes get burned. Word events got a side eye in the news. Bad dates, honey, she's got better shoes. Family drama, yeah, we all got our scars. Hers just winnies and lives in fancy cars. Come vibe with the crew, no scripts, pure cap. Ashley Cummings podcast, put that on the map, or at least YouTube.
She's unbreakable.